If you want to keep your gun rights, then you better wake up. I'm David Ahmed. Thanks for watching. So since we put out the first video, I've got a lot of questions from folks basically asking, well, what do we need another group for? And why do we need a group that's going to be bold and defiant and get in their face? Why do we need that? Well, here's why.
Good afternoon, everyone. The reason we're here is a case that was decided last summer by the U.S. Supreme Court called Bruin. I've read the Bruin case. It's a horrible case. As soon as there's a liberal Supreme Court, it's going to be overturned. It's that bad.
Let me run that by you one more time, just in case you didn't catch it.
I've read the Bruin case. It's a horrible case. As soon as there's a liberal Supreme Court, it's going to be overturned.
As soon as we have a liberal Supreme Court, it's going to be overturned. The man is admitting right out in the open that they don't give a damn what the Constitution actually says. They're not interested in the honest version of the Second Amendment in the slightest. They could care less. They could absolutely care less. It is based on nothing more than their own personal political opinions. That's it. No respect for the words, the honest words. And that's the key, honest. If you go back and you look at what the words in the Second Amendment meant when the Founding Fathers wrote them, the meaning is crystal clear. But these people just don't care. They just don't care. Remember this little clip from the first video?
In his letter, Justice Stevens was calling for more than gun control.
Do you remember specifically what you wrote in that letter?
Yes, I recommended that the country repeal the Second Amendment because the amendment is vested a couple of centuries ago.
You don't feel the Second Amendment guarantees the individual citizen the right to bear arms?
No.
Why?
Well, I don't think it does.
Well, I don't think it does. What do you mean, well, I don't think it does? Based on what? It can't be the plain English reading of the Second Amendment. You know, that guy's a retired Supreme Court judge. Now, he's passed away now, so I'm going to pay due respect to that. But being a retired Supreme Court judge, that means he's a lawyer. That means he's educated. That means he can read the English language, and that means he knows damn good and well what the Second Amendment means. He just personally disagreed with it. So he was willing to use his own personal political opinion to render his rulings and then reverse engineer some legalistic BS to justify ruling that way. It's just dishonest. That's exactly what it is. And you heard that other guy say just as soon as they've got enough people on the court willing to do exactly that, that they're gonna. That is why we need an organization like this. That is why we need to get bold and blunt and aggressive. They're pushing. We need to push back. Now, again, I'm not calling for any kind of violence. What I am calling for is straight up good old-fashioned American defiance. Hell no, we are not giving up our guns. We are not giving up our gun rights. And the reason is simple. We're not just giving up ours. We're giving up every one of our descendants' gun rights. And we're simply not doing that. So if you want to talk about solutions to some of the problems, we're willing to talk with you. We already know what the answers are. You want to stop school shootings? Put cops in schools already there beforehand. When the cops show up, the bad guy gets dealt with. Have the cops already there. It's as simple as that. But y'all don't want to talk about that. You don't even want to think about that, because if we actually stopped school shootings, your excuse, your main excuse to scream for more gun control and slowly kill the Second Amendment would go right out the window, and y'all know it. That's why you use these, you say things like, we don't want to militarize our schools. We don't want our schools to be like prisons. Well, guess what? I don't want that either. I'm just willing to admit that that's the way it has to be right now. I have the guts to be honest about it. Why don't y'all? It wouldn't be because y'all will lose your number one rallying cry, would it? It wouldn't be because when it worked, it would prove you wrong. You see what I did just there, folks? This is why we need an organization like this. This is why we need to be in their face. Not violent and not ugly and nasty, but go after them because they're coming after us. It's as simple as that. Now, if you look down in the description, there's a link to our Facebook page, there's a link to our Twitter, and there's a link to our crowdfunding campaign. And folks, I'm just going to say it this way. We need all the help we could get to get this thing up off the ground. So whatever you can do, it's greatly appreciated, and it's very much needed. And that's it. That's the truth. There will be more videos coming out. Stay tuned, and let's get together. We have to come together and put a stop to these people, because if we don't put a stop to them, they're never going to stop. Simple as that. Anyway, look down in the description for those links. Any help you can give us is greatly appreciated. I'm David Ahmed, and thanks for watching.